This is the attack that should scare every IT team. A supply chain campaign tied to TeamPCP that stole 500,000 plus credentials from 10,000 plus CI/CD pipelines. That's not a breach. That's a preloaded arsenal aimed straight at your cloud. Story 1. TeamPCP Supply Chain Credential Haul. Attackers tampered with widely used open source packages and GitHub actions, then harvested automation secrets at scale. Vectra reports 500,000 plus stolen credentials pulled from 10,000 plus CI/CD pipelines between February and March 2026. Think AWS keys, Azure tokens, GitHub access, container registries, everything that turns build into own production. If your pipeline ran affected tooling before April, assume tokens issued before then are already in someone else's stash. Rotate credentials, search for the docs TPCP repo artifact, and audit CloudTrail, Azure, and GCP logs for weird pipeline-driven access. If your deploy system's compromised, what do you even trust anymore? Story 2. KDDI email breach 12.233 million emails, 7.616 million passwords. Japan's KDDI says unauthorized access hit its ISP email system, exposing about 12,233,000 email addresses and passwords for some 7.616 million users. The company points to vulnerabilities in third-party software used by the email platform. This matters because password reuse turns one telecom breach into account takeover across banking, shopping, and work logins. If you're a customer, change that password everywhere it was reused and turn on MFA. If you run email infrastructure, how many third-party components are you running unpatched right now? Story 3. Linux KVM VM escape CVE 2026-53397 Januscape. Security Week reports a Linux kernel KVM vulnerability that can let an attacker escape a VM and execute code on the host. In multi-tenant cloud terms, one rented instance could become a launchpad to impact neighbors or even seize the host. It was patched in mainline on June 19th, but patch lag is where attackers live. Cloud teams should confirm hypervisor patch levels and reduce risky features like nested virtualization where possible. If your workloads rely on the cloud isolation promise, how fast can you actually validate that promise? Story 4. JadePuffer agentic ransomware encrypts 1,300 plus records. SysDig researchers describe JadePuffer, a case where an AI agent ran much of the intrusion end-to-end after exploiting a Langflow flaw, ultimately encrypting more than 1,300 configuration records on a production MySQL environment tied to Alibaba Nakos. The twist, a human still set the stage and handed it credentials, and the decryption key reportedly wasn't saved, meaning victims couldn't recover even if they paid. The scary part isn't Hollywood AI, it's automation that speeds up real attacker playbooks. If ransomware is getting faster, are your detections faster too? Story 5. Iran-linked Cavern Manticore rides IT providers into targets. Checkpoint reports Cavern Manticore linked to Iran's intelligence services, using trusted Israeli IT providers to deliver malware disguised as legitimate updates and to abuse RMM tooling. That's a supplier chain nightmare. Compromise one provider, inherit many customers. Government and IT sector targets are called out with modular tooling designed to evade analysis and extend access. If your MSP or IT vendor got hit, would you even know before your network did? Which of these threats keeps you up at night? Supply chain credential theft, mass password exposure, VM escapes, or ransomware automation? Drop it in the comments below and subscribe to Cyber News Daily for your daily cybersecurity briefing.